Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll, and today I come to you with this beautiful doll. Let me move these wigs for a minute. You'll see what this is about. This doll here I won from the Salvation Army auction, and she's just beautiful. I believe she's in her original dress. I have her original bonnet here, and she's in her original shoes. She is marked on the back, made in Canada by the Reliable Doll Company. So anyhow, as that may be, so she's a little Canadian doll. Beautiful size. I love this size. But we're going to talk. Somebody asked me about doll wigs, and we're going to talk about them, and hopefully we can get in there also how to recognize what wig is on your doll. And so anyways, we'll try to talk about it anyway, and I can give you what knowledge I have. I don't know it all, and I'm going to put that out there right now. There's probably going to be some points that I didn't even bring up because I don't know about that. But I'm going to tell you what I do know, just with my experience of working with my own dolls. But anyways, if we were to go back to the early 1900s, even before that, you'll find out in the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, and women back many years ago used to take human hair and make wigs of it for themselves, but as time went on, they also made it for their dolls. Doll wigs were made from human hair because that's pretty much what they had. Women grew their hair long, and one thing they could make with it was wigs, and those wigs became very popular on their dolls. So anyhow, and probably other hair too along the way. There was probably mohair. But what is mohair? Well, we'll talk about what mohair is. But first, let's talk about human hair. I have a human hair wig here. Let me get it out right here. Here's a beautiful human hair wig. Beautiful stuff. You can feel, oh, it just feel, you can tell, like when you touch it right away, it's just got it feels like human hair. It just what your hair should feel like, you know. There's different feels from here to mohair. Mohair feels a little rougher, has a rougher feel to it. Even as silky as it can be, there's still a roughness to it, because why? Mohair is goat. It's not human hair. But this stuff here is just like silk. And I know like alpaca can be very silky too. The llama and whatnot, they take the hair off of it, but the human hair is this is a beautiful wig to work with. But anyways, this is human hair. I know because it came from now this is the thing. How do you know that that's human hair, Tammy? Well, it came from a doll that is only known for human hair wigs. And if you were to look your doll up in books and whatnot, you will find out the doll I have is up in the attic, and this fits her head. And it was never on her head. So I have this cataloged who this belongs to. So this will go back into her little bag of who this belongs to. I got the bag out in my shop right now, and it goes right back to her, and it's her wig. It's her original wig. And once I bring the doll out and I start to restore her, you will then find out, oh yeah, she has human hair. That's all they made on those dolls were human hair wigs. All right, a Monica of Hollywood dolls are also known for their human hair. Now the thing is, they say these are composition. The bodies, I believe, I really feel are, but not the head. I feel the head is made of something else. Horsemen did this too, the same thing. They've made, I have a horseman head where it feels like a stone material, feels like a rock material. This head feels the same way. It's colder, it feels cold to the hand than what composition does. I know composition can have like a cold feel to it. I get it, they're not human or anything, but there's just something different about, like, it feels like a stone in your hand, a cold stone. It's hard to describe it, but if you put your hand up inside of this, it feels like a stone. Now, if there's composition between what they dumped it in, that could be it. But the one thing about the Monica of Hollywood dolls that I really noticed is that their paint doesn't want to stay on the doll. You see a lot of these dolls and the paint is coming off, and I started to wonder, why is it that pretty much everyone has been has had a repaint of some sort or another, like or when you find them, their paint is just horrible. It's because it's stone. It's not composition. Oil loves wood. It's not laying on top of wood. It's laying on top of a stone. Like, even if like I said, they had a composition mold and they dunked it into something on the inside and the outside, that paint is not adhering to that product that they dunked it into. Or if it's just a stone head, it's heavier, it's got a weight to it that's just different than even composition. It's hard to describe until you take the head off. If you have a Monica of Hollywood, take the head off. It's just feel up inside. It is different. And You can even see up inside of this, it's just different than a composition head would look like up inside. I wish I had a composition head here to show you the difference, but I don't. I didn't even think on that level when I was preparing for this. But a lot of the time their paint, as you can see, her paint is coming off. A lot of the, if you ever look on eBay, a lot of the Monica of Hollywood dolls, rarely, if they are, their paint is really good. That's because more than likely they've been repainted. And I noticed the original paint is just coming off like this one. They need to be repainted again. So, but one of the things they did was they rooted this doll. Her hair is rooted, it's not a wig. They planted, they put little holes in, they planted, they actually put the hair into the head. So it probably was done during the soft stage of this doll, or whatever they did to it, and put the holes in there and then put the plugs in. But she has human hair. Now her hair feels really coarse. Well, you just got done saying that human hair wig that you just touched a few minutes ago was silky. This is a doll's hair that's not been washed, and this is what makes me think that these dolls' hair were able to be washed is because of the material that's on the outside of this doll. If it was composition, because it's human hair, you could wash it now a lot better than you could mohair and whatnot. And I'm wondering if that's what they were, you know, the little girl was able to do now, was to wash the hair and set it and whatnot, and give this, because these were model dolls of Hollywood. They were actual models. So I'm wondering if that's why they made it of this stone material, because if it was composition, water and composition don't go together. But now you've got a doll that has this stone-like material, and now you can actually wash her hair, set it in curlers, and there you go. This little girl has a dream doll to play with. These were pricey dolls. These were not cheap dolls. These were expensive dolls for the family to obtain. So you had some money behind you if you owned a Monica of Hollywood doll, even for back in its day. So just some things that I've been noticing, and I don't think it's been talked about the Monica of Hollywood doll, the material it was made of, and what it could do. I like to see some advertisements for it, and you know, maybe that might tell us a little bit more. Could you wash the hair? Because this is, like I said, I don't believe. Listen. It's just got a rock feel to it, hollowness to it. I don't know. That's me. Okay, enough on that one. So we're going to move along into the decades here, and now we're coming up to mohair. Mohair was used even in the right along with the human hair on dolls in the late 1800s as well into the 1900s. If it was used before then, I don't know. Maybe so. I just don't know about it. But and it could very well be. It could have been used in the early 1800s for all I know, but I know human hair really was the top one they used. But this is a Shirley Temple, a dirty Shirley Temple wig, I should say. And it needs to be washed, it needs to be curled. And all you do, always use cold water when you're washing your doll wigs. Why? Yeah, the hair, it could affect the hair somewhat, but it's going to affect the wig's cap more than it is the hair. It could shrink it if you use hot water or even lukewarm water. It could shrink the cap. So to preserve the cap, use cold water, and it's even better for the hair. So there you go. Now we're moving up in time to the synthetic hairs. I have a wig here that is synthetic, and you feel it. You can feel the coarseness to it. And it's probably, this is probably from the 70s, maybe, I would say the 70s, maybe the 80s this wig was, maybe not too long ago type of thing. We can go by the up inside here, and you say, well, how do you know it's synthetic, Tammy? Well, here it is. It says right inside here, it's a synthetic wig. So probably made in the USA, and it says synthetic. So we know that this is man-made material, probably made of a plastic, but you know what, it looks pretty good, you know, like, I mean, yeah, it needs to be styled and everything, but it doesn't look too bad. Pretty good little wig here. Now, as we move through more and more, we come into more plastic hair, because plastic's coming out of the world wars, and it has to go somewhere. It went into our homes, in our social life, in cars. It went into toys, and one of the places it found its place was in wigs. And one of the things that came out of it was saran hair. Now, saran hair came out in the 1950s, because that's when plastics was coming out. And the doll that I have here, I'm going to go get it. I should have brought it with me at the time. I wasn't thinking about it, but anyways. Saran hair came out in the 1950s. Here's a Canadian 1950 grocery store doll. And she is a fashion doll for her day. And here she is right here. And she's a gorgeous little thing. See if we can get her to sit more up so we can see her beautiful face. There we go. There she is. And she has saran hair. Saran hair is just plastic hair. And they were able to make plastic hair, and it looks great. You could wash it. Nothing would happen to it. It's rooted into the doll. It's on a vinyl doll, and you could go right ahead and just wash your hair, style it how you want it to. This is when Miss Revlon was coming out, and there's another one that was coming out that a lot of those dolls' hair from the 1950s, the fashion dolls, were made so that little girls could play around with doll hair and learn how to curl hair and do all kinds of different styles. And then later came out in the 70s, 80s, cheap bisque dolls came out, and they were given cheap plastic hair. And this is a fun example of it. Really cheap stuff. I don't care for them too much, but sometimes they can cover up a doll until you find the wig that you want for them. At least you gave them some hair, and then you say, I'm looking for you, your wig. The wig that says you know. And in the meantime, you can plop this on top of their heads. I don't save the wigs so much anymore from bisque dolls because they're really cheap wigs, and I don't like the shininess of them all the time. They're just plasticky shininess, and I'm not always liking that look. So on some dolls, maybe not all. You have to decide, for yourself. But that's the whole breakdown of wigs. And we come back to this wonderful little girl here who's sporting a wig here from the 1940s, the late 1940s, a mohair wig. And we're going to talk about her again in my next video, hopefully my next video, what to do with eyes that are floating upwards. Why is that happening? But anyways, right now it's about our wigs. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I answered the question. How do you know what wig your doll has on her head? Well, here, the only way I could tell you is this. Look your doll up. Usually in the description of your doll, there will be, they talk about height, clothing, and wigs, the color of the eyes. They give you all the things that you need to know about your doll. If on your when you're Googling your doll, you don't see it, or where you bought your doll from, they don't mention what type of wig she has, then the next thing to do is get some books and find her in a doll book. We should be like lawyers, doll collectors should be, not doll women, doll collectors out there, where lawyers sit with all their books in the back, and they look really important, like they're really, really smart and all that stuff back behind them. We need to look the same way. We need to be in front of a desk with all our doll books back behind us. I need to do that and look like I'm really smart. Okay, everybody, I'm just joking around. But we need to look like lawyers. Okay, that's what I'm saying to you. With our smart books behind us. But in those books, they will tell you, they've investigated those dolls, and when they put their books together, and they will tell you what type of wig your doll has. And if your doll is not in the books, or you can't find it on doll sites and whatnot, you can ask. Okay, there's plenty on Facebook where you can ask about the questions about your doll. A lot of doll experts out there, they can just look and tell, or they might have your doll or one very close to it, so they can tell you what your doll wig would be about. We know Shirley Temple had mohair wigs. There's certain dolls we just know right away. We can just say, yeah, that's a mohair wig. And there are different, like I say, touching is one thing too. The feel of it. Even after you wash it, you can still feel, when I move that hair around, it slides in a certain way, not like human hair does. And you can feel, I don't want to say gritty, but you can feel the roughness of it. And that's just the difference between the hair. And that's just through your hands getting used to different doll hair. But anyways, I hope that helps. And I hope it answers some questions there. Like I said, I don't know it all. But that's the best way. So if you were to ever get this doll, let's say you got this on, you go, what kind of hair is it? Well, right away, look up Reliable Dolls. A lot of them will tell you on eBay, Etsy, Ruby Lane. You get on there and you find your doll. You might be able to find this doll, or in books. That's the best way I can tell you. So anyways, thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below if you have more information, because we're always willing to learn more about doll wigs and whatnot. So if that's something you know more, something I didn't even mention because I may not have known myself, I'm going to learn from you as well. Put it in there. I'm more than glad. And other people, read down below, because you never know what somebody might give, something that triggers you that goes, oh, That's what I was looking for also. So there we go. Thank you for joining me. Thumbs up, please, if you can. And thank you for joining me and listening to me. And I hope you enjoyed this. So we'll be talking to you again really soon, because we got to get her eyes from being wonky donkey here. Look at those eyes. They're terrible. All right. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.